My name is Ian Neighbor, and this is Straight People, another episode coming to you live on location from the new comedy club in Columbia, South Carolina, The Comedy Closet. Please check it out at thecomedycloset.com. And I swear I'm not just shilling The Comedy Closet, but it's a new club and it needs the help, so let's do it. Let's support or whatever. Anyways, welcome to Straight People. Our guest today is Mr. Wayne Cousins. How you doing, Wayne?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty well. You are a comedian. I do a lot of interviewing comedians.
Yes, sir.
So how long do you live in Columbia proper or around here or?
Yeah, like on the outskirts city and Lexington.
Okay.
Yeah.
The outskirts of the city.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Sounds, and then you go Lexington. It doesn't, like, outskirts of the city makes you sound like you're like a survivalist, and then it's
Right.
like Lexington. It makes it sound like you live with your mom. So
All right. We'll stick with the outskirts then. More desperado.
So how long have you been doing stand-up, Wayne? I've known you, I feel like, for a few years.
Yeah.
Like, off and on. So, yeah.
I think since about, I don't know the actual day that I did my first set, but 2011.
2011. Oh, we
yeah.
started about the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. My first set was National Coming Out Day 2011. I didn't time it like that on purpose, but that's how it worked out. And then I think like 4 months went by, I did another set, and then, done pretty regularly since then.
There you go.
And you've been in South Carolina and Columbia the whole time?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So how would you classify, you grew up here?
Yeah.
So here in Lexington and Columbia?
Yeah.
Okay. And how old are you now?
31.
31?
Yeah.
Was your plan to stay? What was 18-year-old Wayne wanting to do?
I don't know. I went to school, for film studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
At where?
USC.
Oh, okay.
South
Nice.
Carolina.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to do something, I guess, but I guess I wasn't trying to go too far away from home.
What do you do currently? What's your day vocation?
I sell insurance and during the daytime, Medicare stuff, shit like that, and all that, and that's fun. Not really, but I
Day jobs are day jobs.
Yeah. But other than that, just hanging out, trying to get some sets in and all that,
Nice. You're pretty a big mover and shaker in South Carolina comedy, I would say.
I'll take that, sure.
We're going to make a list of people who are funny in South Carolina. Your name's on that list.
Hey, I appreciate it.
I would say that for sure. What do you think is the most interesting thing that you've learned from doing stand-up? So, you've been in it for a little while. It sort of has its ups and downs.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think you've learned about life or yourself or people?
I guess to try not to be too long-winded. Like when you're telling somebody a story and you just see their eyes glaze over, I just get right out of there and try not to bother too many people. But sometimes
that's a really great lesson, just in general. But it's a great lesson as a writer for brevity is the soul of wit.
Right.
As whoever that asshole that said that was. I don't know who said that.
Who cares?
Who said brevity is the soul of wit?
I think it's Shakespeare, right?
Was it Shakespeare? Well, he didn't write
probably
his own shit.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
stole. He was no, I'm just kidding. But that's a great lesson in general. Yeah, I find that when a regular person tries to tell me a story, I try to astral project out of my body a lot of times.
Right. Exactly. It's terrible, and they go on for way too long, and you're like, what are the important beats here?
Right.
So many tangents.
My husband gets mad because he likes to tell me the same story like 3 times. And so by the 3rd time, I'm like, cut this, put this on the front. You're burying the punchline. You don't need all these tags. And who cares what happens at the end? The funniest part is he's like, I'm just telling you about my friend that died. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. That's his family, too. I don't know if your Southern family's like this. His family's like, do you know Jim? Do you remember Jim? Jim who used to deliver the papers in the morning? Jim, remember Jim? He was your godfather. Well, he's dead. He died. He's dead. He died. It was like, how did he die? Well, those riding lawnmowers? Well, he was on one of those on a steep hill, and it rolled over on him. He fell off of it, and then it rolled over on him and just turned him into ground chuck. Well, that's what happens.
And then a nuke went off.
Yeah, and that's just it. That's all their stories are kind of that way.
Whenever they bring up a person that you haven't seen in a long time,
they're dead.
Yeah, they didn't cure cancer.
Do you remember? You remember little Timmy, don't you? Well, he died.
Yeah.
He died.
Oh, he's just doing fine.
If anyone survives you remember so and so, I'm like, oh my god, are they doing great? But they're never doing this. They're on meth.
Right. That's so true.
Tell me a joke. Tell me one of your jokes.
Let's do.
Do you have any gay jokes? Do you have any jokes about gay people?
I tried to get this bit going a little while ago about how my girlfriend's best friend is gay.
Okay.
And every time he comes to town, I'm woke, I guess you could say, as wrong as
he did finger quotes. He did finger quotes.
Can you hear these? I'm doing them right now. The bit was that I but end up being a little bit too forward with my gay acceptance, I guess.
Okay.
Because every time he comes to town, I'm like, we're getting your dick wet tonight, bro.
So you're trying to wingman for a gay guy.
Exactly.
And he's not into it.
Well, he's not usually, but he's a sweet boy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. That's good. Does it got legs? Does it work? Have you tried doing it? And
it devolves into like just me talking about gross buttholes and stuff like that. So it's not a crowd pleaser necessarily, but.
So how do you identify? So we're on a podcast called Straight People.
Right.
Are you a straight person?
I unfortunately, yes, I am a straight people. Yeah.
Yeah. How unfortunate.
Yeah. I think I'm
sure your parents probably don't. They're probably like, oh, we're glad.
Right.
But yeah, so you're 100% straight, or like,
I think
touched a dick. You touch anybody else's dick other than your own?
I never have done anything sexual with a guy, but I wouldn't call myself 100% straight.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all on the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say probably.
Have you ever like watched a river runs through it and been like, that Brad Pitt's long, beautiful blonde hair while he's trout fishing or fly fishing? He's fly fishing. You don't fly fish for trout, but yeah, I don't know. I ruined it. Too gay. Don't even know.
I don't even know what fish you catch fly fishing.
I don't even know.
It's not a fly fish.
Yeah, right? I don't even know. I just think he looked really good. Maybe it was Legends of the Fall that he looked really good in.
Legends of the Fall. What was the other one? A River Runs Through.
River Runs Through It.
Which one was that? I thought that
River Runs Through It was like two brothers and a father, and like there's some straight people problems where it was like, oh well, you have everything given to you, but somehow you're still upset.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one of those. And Legends of the Fall, I have no idea. And
I think they're the same movie.
And then Vampire Lestat, I was just talking about with somebody else because they were so upset about Claudia. So like Kirsten Dunst's character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, why would you make a baby a vampire? I'm like, that's the whole point of the that's an abomination. I'm like, that's literally what they say in the movie.
Yeah, because you're trying to get Kirsten Dunst an Oscar. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
I'd say about 93% straight.
93% straight. So tell me, like the first. So you have gay friends, and we all love Jen Snyder, who's from here,
right?
Super funny comedian and lesbian extraordinaire.
She's the best.
She's a level 7 lesbian, as far as I know.
Exactly.
I checked her papers, and everything checks out with her. But who's the first gay person you knew? So I always like it like this: you're born straight, and you don't even know you're straight.
Right.
You don't even have to bother to know you're straight. At some point, you realize that there's something other than straight. There's the otherness of gayness or transness or whatever it is. And sometimes the access to that is like a movie. Sometimes that's a family friend.
Sure.
Sometimes that's like the town homo. They point out, so and so he swishes this way or whatever it is.
Skip it down the road.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, the organist, stay away from him. Oh, the organist, he loves the organ and organs. But so walk me through that. Like what age were you? And sometimes it's just other kids calling each other gay, and then you figure out what that is. You know what I mean? Because like the first time I ever heard it was the term "smear the queer," and nobody knew what the queer was. Do you know what I mean? Like we just knew it was what you smeared, but we didn't know what it was.
You didn't want to be.
And then
queer,
later,
right? Yeah.
I think when I saw Blazing Saddles, when it all
really,
yeah, because they have this. They refer to them as Kansas City faggots. And it all connected to me. I was like, oh, because it was like a certain kind of guy.
Right.
Hello, or whatever, yeah. And then there was this movie Airplane where they had one character who was clearly gay.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the one who's like...
The air traffic controller.
Don't call me Shirley or whatever it is. Yeah. That
goes
guy.
to Fresno
Yeah, exactly. So tell me about your experience like that.
Okay, Well, I knew I was straight, I guess, from a early age when I saw my first Catwoman comic book.
Yeah.
And that just did it for me.
Okay.
My first gay person, probably like the guy from Designing Women, you know? What was his name?
Meshach Taylor?
Yes.
Well, Anthony Bouvier, the character is not gay.
Well, but okay, so I'm talking about Mannequin 2 when he was in the Mannequin movies.
When he played Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes. You know. Okay, fair enough.
But I don't
he was super gay. Well, they never explicitly said he was gay or had him in a partnering of any kind of, but yeah, he was clearly a homosexual.
Well, I might be stereotyping. That's probably not good.
No,
either,
he was definitely written as like a flamboyantly, but they didn't give him anything to do other than just be like, let me flamboyantly support these white people.
Right, yeah.
With all of their problems. Okay. I loved Hollywood. Hollywood was great. Yeah. But of course, he's probably like now like a, seen as an incredibly negative stereotype, but at the time there was nothing. So like even like a movie that now of course is so problematic, Revenge of the Nerds, with all the, like, you know, like rape culture,
stuff,
but there was Lamar was the black gay character, and not that positive of a role model, but it still was something for me when I was that age, because that movie came out when I was like in 6th or 7th grade, and it was there was a gay person who got to play along with everybody else.
He was one of the guys,
yeah, sort of. I mean, to the degree that, you know, Lamar could be or whatever. He was definitely very soft like that.
Right.
He reminded me. It was do you remember do you ever see the Police Academy movies?
Oh yeah.
Remember the black lady who talked real quiet?
Oh yeah.
That's what Lamar sounded like. It was like, I always thought of those people like as the same person.
They were very meek. Yeah.
And then she at the very end, she's like, "Hold it, freeze, sucker," or whatever. Yeah. She finally finds her voice, literally.
Why hasn't that been rebooted yet?
Police Academy?
Yeah, you would think
everyone hates the police. Like,
that's true.
I don't know how you would do it now.
You could make a likable cop character.
I don't think so. Like when I was watching, they did a Super Troopers 2.
Oh yeah.
And I felt like so much time had passed that it was like I can't even really get.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the first one I always thought was really funny, and then the second one I was like, yeah, I don't know. The police are sort of our enemies. So I don't.
Yeah, we're in a different place culturally now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little like to. Yeah, exactly. We're in a completely different place culturally.
Right.
It's hard to celebrate anything, and I've noticed recently that most of the sitcoms, none of them take place in modern times. They all take place in the 80s and the 90s, and I think that's because if they put them in a modern context, then they can't get away with some of these dumb, sort of like, you know, kind of like hacky, sort of like stereotypical kind of racist jokes. That they can do it they can set it in the 80s and then sort of have these characters sort of be more evolved than anybody was in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the minor characters are doing that, and we're going to be the good people. Yeah. And it's like, that's not how it was at all.
You would have been the bad one too. Yeah.
So you, straight person, loves Catwoman. Have you ever had a girlfriend dress up as Catwoman?
You know what? I have every time around Halloween.
Have you ever dressed up as Catwoman?
I wouldn't mind. I would love to. I've never seen a cat suit in my size, really. I don't think, but
I'm sure they have them. I mean, I've seen a lot of drag queens dressed up as Catwoman, so it can be done.
It looks like a fun look. You know, it looks. I mean,
you can't pee. You can't go pee. But other than that,
yeah, it's true. No, but I have every Halloween. I try to, you know, steer her towards the more form-fitting. I just love bodysuits. I don't know what it is, but yeah. And,
so, how do you feel about Britney Spears and the "Oops, I Did It Again" video where she's wearing the tight lycra red bodysuit? You're a fan of that?
And that was a very important time for me sexually. You know, because that came out when I was in like 6th grade or something. You know, so I was big into that, but still more of a ex-Tina guy.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah.
Wow. I've never heard a straight guy prefer Christina Aguilera, but only aesthetically or like also the music?
Well, yeah, I actually do think the music was better, but I mean that Dirty video, come on, that was, you know.
Is that the one where she's like in the ring, like just like popping her booty?
Yeah, exactly.
Get a little dirty.
Oh
yeah. Gay men love we're fans of both.
Sure.
But like, if you're gonna get in an argument with somebody, it's gonna be about Britney, Christina. You know what I mean? And most gay guys will be like, "Oh, Christina, but Christina and her range, or whatever." And I'm like, "But Britney's crazy," and then like pulled it back in, and like now she's like, she got it together. But like, Christina Aguilera wins because she does her version of "Oh Holy Night." Like, have you ever heard her? Where she does the Lord's Prayer, like really like seductively, like "Our Father." like in the middle of the, because there's only 2 songs I've ever heard where the Lord's Prayer is just done all the way through, and the other one is Prince's Controversy. For some reason, it's just in the middle of.
I haven't heard that.
Oh yeah, no. It's even more like Our Father who art in heaven. It's like it's sexy version. Okay. Yeah, but her Oh Holy Night where she just does it in the middle.
I like sexy Christianity.
Nobody asked you for that. Yeah. Nobody asked you for that. Okay, so wow, Christina over Britney. Wow, what other diva pair-ups can I put in front of you? Madonna or Cher?
That is hard. Madonna for looks, Cher for personality.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah, Madonna has a terrible personality.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She's kind of fallen off a little bit, right?
Well, I don't know. She just had an album come. I don't know. I don't want to say anything negative about Madonna because, like, her fans are some of my friends that I know that would literally murder me if I said too much main stuff. But Madonna's somebody who, like, you know that she probably wouldn't enjoy your company.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. Like,
true.
If I had to hang out with Madonna for some reason, she'd probably be like, ugh. But, like, I feel like if I had to hang out with Cher, she'd, like, at least make the best of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, should be fun. You guys
like, Madonna would just be in her phone the whole time being like, who is this motherfucker? And, like, Cher at least would be like, you know, tell you a good story about Sonny or something, I think.
That's what it is. She doesn't seem very down to earth anymore, Madonna, you know? Which
I don't think she ever was.
Yeah,
I don't think she was. And that's not what we liked about her anyways. But I will say I listened to her latest album, and it's, like, she goes in these, like, weird directions.
Really?
And the video she has a song called Medellin where she rhymes the word champagne with champagne for whatever reason. But in the video, there's a guy, I can't remember his name, he's a famous, like, Spanish singer, and, like, just real quick, she sucks on his big toe. Like, just real quick in the video.
Really?
Like, he's barefoot and they're, like, on a bed or something, and she's just kind of, like, there at the edge of the bed, and she just sucks on his toe, lets it drop out of her, you know, nobody says a word about it. Like, that's where we are now.
Yeah.
Like, if that had happened in the 90s, it would have been like, toe sucker, you nasty, or whatever. And now it's just like, whatever.
We can't be surprised anymore, you know?
Well, I mean, I think that, you're gonna have to put the whole foot in your mouth.
Exactly, yeah. And you know Cher's not sucking on toes.
Oh, no.
She doesn't need to do that.
She doesn't need to do that.
Yeah.
No. Have you ever, you're a toe sucker? You're a big fan of toes?
No, I'm not a foot guy, really. No.
I do a bit where I talk about desserts, and I say, what's a sexy dessert? What's not a sexy? And every time somebody says bread pudding, I'm like, you like toes and feet and shit, don't you? You know what I mean? Like, bread pudding, nobody wants to fucking eat. But,
right.
Like, anytime you put toes or bread pudding in your mouth, it's like you've compromised your integrity a little bit, I feel like.
So you have asked that question and more than once gotten the answer.
Bread pudding?
Sexy dessert, bread
pudding, absolutely.
Wow.
Well, number one sexy dessert is tiramisu for whatever reason. And somebody just said to me that in Sleepless in Seattle, it's used as a plot device. And so maybe that's the reason. Because I swear to God, I can't ask that question in a room without one woman being like, tiramisu, tiramisu, it's my favorite.
Right.
And I'm always like, what do you like about it? And they're like, I don't know. And like tiramisu is like lady fingers and like mascarpone, and whipped cream, and like I forget what kind of liqueur it is, but it's like a casserole. It's not even really it's just a bunch of shit that they put on lady fingers, because lady fingers are just dry, dusty ass cookies. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I do love them though.
Yeah. Do you?
Yes.
You don't like them just because of the name?
Well, my family makes them for Christmas, like the
oh, really?
The ones with the white sugar on it, the powdered sugar. Is that not what we're talking about?
Oh, I mean, you can put powdered sugar on them for sure. Like a ladyfinger is like a long, like vanilla-y-esque cookie.
It's got like some nuts in it.
Maybe you can. I mean, y'all are just doing weird shit.
I know. The straights.
Y'all are just making some little dick-shaped cookies and calling them ladyfingers.
That's right.
I think that women like the word like tiramisu because it sounds fancy.
It does,
right? Its base is ladyfingers, which sounds like a fun activity.
That's cool. Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't believe that cookies count as a dessert personally.
Yeah, I agree with you
that's
there.
A snack.
It's got to be something you have to like cut and then put on a plate, sort of. You know.
But if you cover cookies with alcohol and set them on fire, it's a dessert.
You know, I'll try anything.
That's the rule. It's like a regular thing that you would normally eat.
Right.
Like bananas Foster.
Make it flambe.
Just flambe it.
There you go. Yeah.
Cherries Jubilee, set on fire. That's it.
I'm down.
Cherries. Cherries is just a snack. That's just. But when you set it on fire, then it's like, okay.
That's a sexy dessert, something that's on fire.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I think too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Creme brulee, anything that involves fire.
Ooh, yeah.
Burning things.
Yeah, a little molten cream.
And then some people do that. They say they're like, molten lava cake. That's another one. And I'm like, just do like a cake that squirts? Like,
yes, yeah.
There's
like
a list
gushers.
on, have you ever done those, like, like on Wikipedia? So like you can look up sandwich on Wikipedia, but then they'll also have a list of sandwiches. And it'll be like cheese sandwich, bacon sandwich,
really?
Ham sandwich.
They
and
each have their own entries?
Sometimes they have their own entry if it's a big enough sandwich.
Right.
But it's that way for like squirting cakes. There's a squirting cake sub, and it's like molten lava cake, Australian molten lava cake, which is basically molten lava cake. But yeah, that's one of my favorite.
What makes it Australian?
They just call it Australian molten lava cake.
Shrimp on it, or
maybe they don't put less chocolate in it. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's not a good look. But I like a squirting cake.
Yeah, those are nice.
I think my least favorite would be carrot cake. Like that's not a sexy dessert at all.
It's
like,
not sexy. No. I do like carrot cake, but no.
But like that's something like grandma's recipe. You know?
That's what you get at like the K&W cafeteria.
And I was in Charleston, and of course, somebody yelled out hummingbird cake, which is just
I don't even know what that is.
It's just a carrot cake with pineapple instead of carrots, basically.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
What the fuck?
Hummingbird cake. I'm like, I know what that is. I'm that Southern. I know what a hummingbird cake is.
Oh my god.
So.
How did we get here?
I know. How did we get here? We got 9 minutes to fill. 9 minutes, buddy. Tell me, since you're just a simple boy from the low country of South Carolina, who was raised on chicken bog and pig pickings and barbecues, what is your go-to item at a pig picking / barbecue / low country boil? What are you going in for?
Are we talking about a meat or a three?
Yeah,
we're talking about sides.
Tell me about a meat and a three. Yeah, tell me about the whole. Build me a plate.
Okay, I'll tell you, I do. If the barbecue is not mustard based,
okay.
I'll take it, and that's sacrilegious around here.
Yeah,
because we're big about the mustard based barbecue.
Since when though? That's what I want to know.
Was it not that way?
No, I guess it was, but I just feel like now, because now that everyone's like, well, South Carolina's named for mustard, it's like even
right.
They just go to town. You know,
everybody
what I mean?
wants an identity.
I think so.
And that's what, So, I do like a little bit of tomato-based barbecue, some good green beans, when they're cooked with some ham or bacon, Get the fat in there. I like some collards,
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not big on the mac and cheese. I know people like, it's just, I don't know. I don't get what's up these days about cheese. Everyone's fucking obsessed with cheese. And it's like, just pour cheese on me. And, I mean, maybe that's a straight people thing. I don't know. But,
cheese?
Yeah,
straight people love fucking cheese,
They
They do.
Maybe it's
That's what straight privilege is to me. Like, if you ever see two straight people, like a man and a woman, eating dinner at a Mexican restaurant.
Right.
That's fucking straight privilege. Because, like, if you see two gay guys at a Mexican restaurant eating together, they're just friends.
Yeah.
Or they're breaking up.
Exactly.
Because nobody's fucking tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't be eating cheese and then doing butt stuff. You can't do that. Can't do it.
That's nuts.
Not going to do it.
Do you like do the full clean out thing, or is that too personal?
I mean, it's fairly personal, but
okay.
yeah, you gotta. I mean, you can't. You gotta.
I've heard of it.
You gotta have the whole field ready for play.
I hear you.
Is the terminology. Usually, it's more of a timing thing. Like I've learned over the years that, if it's not dirty, then you don't have to clean it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
got to kind of read your cycle a little bit.
Absolutely.
There you go. I get that.
But I'm usually not on that. I'm usually on the other side of that. But
say no more. I got you.
Yeah, absolutely. My husband's gonna hate hearing about that.
Sorry, Payne.
No,
I'd
it's
like
okay.
to meet your husband, by the way.
You've never met Payne?
I haven't yet. No.
Do you ever come to Atlanta? Have you been to Atlanta?
I need to. It's been a little while since I've been over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will be soon.
Yeah, hit me up. You can. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to cut that part out. I don't want anyone to think I would book somebody just because they're on this podcast.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But hit me up.
Yeah, definitely. I will.
Yeah, you should come through. And you're on the show tonight with me. We're going to headline. I'm headlining this Mamba Jamba here in a couple hours, and you're going to be doing a little feature set.
Yeah.
You can do that joke about getting your Your
only if you want it.
Your best gay friend.
I don't know if it would play well, but if you want to comment on it after,
I mean, I'm into it. Yeah. I'm okay with it. They had a gay guy open for me last night. I love that.
Was that Colin?
Colin.
Yeah, he's
super
great.
Funny.
I love him.
Yeah, he reminded me a little bit. I don't know. Do you know Joe Zimmerman?
Yes.
He was doing some history jokes, and I was like, yeah. And just from around, not from here specifically, but like Charlotte, like
right. Yeah.
Anybody who's like everybody tends to sound like the same handful of people. And he didn't sound like Joe per se, but anytime I hear somebody do stand up and I don't think that they sound like Bill Burr or Bill Hicks or Mitch Hedberg,
right.
I'm like, And then he was doing the history stuff and I was like, he does. But you know what I mean? It's like everybody has a little,
right.
Like, I don't know. I listen to a lot of female comics, so I don't know necessarily whether my influences are translated exactly on stage. But,
sure.
I don't know. I watch a lot of like the Sean Pattons and Kyle Kinanes.
Yeah.
I don't really do the story quite the way. I would love to get to that level of being able to tell like a long
stories.
Yeah, watching Kyle tell, like Kyle just, it sounds like he's just talking,
right?
You know?
I feel like fun shit doesn't happen to me like that, you know, like these people
there's that too. There's also that like
boring.
I feel like I'm boring,
right?
I feel like weird stuff comes at me as opposed to me doing weird, you know what I mean? Like sometimes the interactions I have with people, like I don't know, some of the stuff that people will say to me, I'm just like, oh my god.
I'm sure. I hope I haven't said any of that.
No, not at all. I mean, we just did John's, and John was like, I'm bi, and told me about some secret boyfriend he had. And I was like, bitch.
Hello.
So you need to listen to that one.
Yeah,
I was like, you don't even know your friend. He's nasty. No, I'm just joking. It was really cool. So you got a secret boyfriend you want to know?
Well, you know.
But
it's John.
It's John. So, like, one of the things that I've noticed in just being gay, and like when you, so like, if you look up gay in the dictionary, there's not a picture of me, but there should be, and I've asked. But
I'll lobby for that.
One of the definitions is like happy or whatever, and then the next definition is like dick sucker or whatever it is, right? When you look up straight in the dictionary, in the dishwasher, when you look up straight in the dishwasher, I don't know why, but when you look up straight in the dictionary, there's no definition for heterosexuality.
That's strange.
No, at least the last time I looked. So I don't know if they've updated it since then. But when I first started this, that was sort of the reason I picked the name Straight People, because I was like, they don't even bother. Like, straight is just so straight that they don't even bother to define it.
Right. Everyone knows.
And then every time I'm like driving anywhere, my Waze is always like, go straight for 2 hours. I was like, I'm going to kill myself if you ask me to do that one more time. Like, can't you just say go for her?
Yeah, that is true. I didn't even think about that.
Not that it really bugs me, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, straight is like, straight is just everything else, right? So we're really big on defining what gay is, what trans is, and what lesbians and bisexuals and whatever else, asexual. But what we don't define at all is what straight actually is. You know, like straight is just everything else. Like straight is just everything else.
I know y'all are just like branching off of us.
Yeah, we're just like this little subgroup.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everything else that's ever happened, every idea that's ever been had, every invention, every innovation is all straight people. Apparently.
Innocent until proven guilty, you know?
Yeah.
Like straight until proven gay.
Straight until proven gay. Until we come up with the testing strips.
There you go. Yeah, right? I don't know, yeah.
So in that regard, what would you consider to be like straight culture? Like if you're like, what would be a traditionally straight meal?
A straight meal, maybe like cereal.
Eating over the sink, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Something, I don't know, something bland, chicken with no spice or something like that, I guess. I'm just thinking about all those tense dinners you see in like family dramas, you know, like just people moving their silverware across the plate.
So it doesn't matter what they're eating as long as they just don't enjoy it.
Right,
not
exactly.
It
it's not as good as it could be.
The sadness and the subtext.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever had one of those meals?
Oh, sure.
Yeah?
I'm sure I have. You know, I've had terrible food.
No, but have you had like been in a where it's the meal's fine, but it's the tenseness of the situation?
Yeah, I'm divorced, so yeah.
Oh, really?
We've had.
Damn it! We're minute 28. And we're just getting to the good shit.
Oh my god.
Okay, who divorced who?
It was mutual. We never, I have a 9-year-old son, and it's his mother. You know, we just never were good together, but we were young and trying to make it happen and all that. So, you know.
So was it like your son was like a, unscheduled miracle?
Yes, yeah. I was 21.
21
when we had him. Yeah. Okay. When we had him, when she, I didn't do a lot. I went out on late night ice cream runs, shit like that. But so yeah.
How long did you try to stay together?
He was probably about 2.5 when we split up.
Okay.
And we were together probably 4 years before that. So,
Has she moved on to...
she's remarried, has 2 other kids now,
Okay, so she's carrying on her plan.
Yes, exactly.
Which is have a bunch of kids and be a mom. That's awesome, though. But that's sort of what happens. What I notice, like, a lot of people, because I'm 46, so it's like I've seen... kind of like 20 years of people's relationships.
Right.
And it's really funny what happens when people get together really young, and then when they break up, it's like one person sort of goes in a direction you didn't expect them to go to, and the other one just continues on the path that they were on.
Exactly.
And it's always, you know what I mean? It's always, that's the same for like straight and gay. So it's like you think, okay, well, she has a kid and she's a mother, so she's going to keep being a mother. Yeah, sure, okay.
Right.
But that happens a lot. And do you feel like what direction were you going in when you guys got together versus the direction you're in now?
I guess, when we first got together, I was a freshman in college, so still just aimless, really. I mean, I was just kind of floating through shit, so now I'm still doing that a little bit, I mean, I try to keep up with my comedy and, do what I have to do and shit like that, and, I mean, she's a great mom, he's a great older brother, he's got 2 little baby sisters now and shit, so, only want the best for her,
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's like a really upbeat kind of like family, like straight note to end this fucking episode of Straight People On, man.
Yeah.
That was killer. Wayne, tell people where they can find you.
I'm at Cousin Wayne on Twitter and Instagram.
Okay.
And, Wayne Cousins at Facebook, shit like that.
Awesome. And hopefully you'll be seeing Wayne in Atlanta very soon.
Definitely.
My name's Ian Aber, and this has been Straight People.